What's the one thing SpongeBob SquarePants wants more than anything in the world? That's right, his driver's license. But as usual, his latest attempt at boating school ends in a fiery, spectacular crash. Mrs. Puff is exasperated, and SpongeBob is absolutely heartbroken. Walking along the beach with his best pal Patrick, feeling like a total failure, SpongeBob spots something glinting in the sand. It's a bottle, and inside, a mysterious, crinkled treasure map. Could this be the thing to turn his day around? Excitement bubbles up as they unroll the parchment. The map promises a legendary treasure, but to find it, they must pass a series of friendship trials. Their first challenge? A dense, confusing coral maze. SpongeBob, eager as ever, rushes in and immediately gets lost. Patrick, following his own unique logic, wanders off in another direction. They shout back and forth, getting more and more mixed up. Finally, they realize they have to stop and actually listen to each other. By communicating clearly, with Patrick giving simple directions and SpongeBob listening carefully, they navigate their way out together. They learn their first lesson: teamwork requires communication. Their next trial is even more ambitious: build a giant Krabby Patty model using nothing but kelp, sand, and seashells. At first, it's chaos. SpongeBob wants the patty perfectly round, while Patrick keeps trying to eat the kelp lettuce. They argue, the model collapses, and it looks like another failure. But then, remembering the maze, they take a breath. SpongeBob explains his vision, and Patrick, with his surprising strength, figures out how to build a sturdy foundation. They start working in sync, combining SpongeBob's eye for detail with Patrick's raw power. Slowly but surely, a magnificent sand and shell Krabby Patty rises from the beach. They did it together. The map leads them through more trials, each one teaching them something new about cooperation and trust. They learn to balance on a seesaw rock over a deep trench and even work together to serenade a grumpy giant clam until it gives them the next clue. With each success, their confidence grows, not just in themselves, but in their friendship. They're becoming an unstoppable team. Finally, they piece together the last clue. SpongeBob's eyes go wide with disbelief. The X on the map, the location of the treasure, is right at the finish line of Mrs. Puff's boating school course. Standing at the starting line, SpongeBob feels a familiar wave of panic. He looks at the boat, then at the treacherous course. But this time, something's different. He looks at Patrick, who gives him a wide, confident grin. It all clicks into place. The trials weren't just random games. They were training. They were learning the skills he needed all along: focus, communication, and trust. SpongeBob gets behind the wheel, but this time, Patrick hops into the passenger seat as his co-pilot, his navigator. The test begins. Okay, Patrick, what do you see? SpongeBob asks, his hand steady on the wheel. Big pointy rocks on the left. Patrick yells, sharp turn right. SpongeBob executes the turn perfectly. He navigates the anchors, parallels parks between giant clams, and uses his turn signals, all with Patrick calling out instructions and encouragement. It's like a dance. They're in perfect sync. He crosses the finish line without a single mistake. Mrs. Puff is speechless, her pufferfish spines completely retracted. She floats over, a tear in her eye, and hands him his long-awaited driver's license. At the finish line, they find a small, barnacle-covered treasure chest. They open it eagerly. Inside, there's no gold, no jewels. There's just a single, framed photo of the two of them, laughing together on the beach. Underneath it, an inscription reads, "Friendship is the real treasure." SpongeBob holds his new license in one hand and puts his arm around his best friend. He may have finally passed his boating test, but he realizes he already had the greatest prize of all. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you love stories about friendship, hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you next time.